welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today we're going to talk about another unusual A24 gem. We're going to talk about How to Talk to Girls at Parties. It's a sci-fi romantic comedy film from Britain, shot in London, directed by, who's the director? John Cameron Mitchell. And he had a lot of positions in this film. Starring Ellie Fanning, Alex Sharp, Ruth Wilson, Nicole Kidman, and Matt Lucas. It's a story about a teen who's heavily into rock punk bands, and I think he's also trying to construct one with his friends. Meets a girl at an unusual brothel, and things get a little bit haywire. Turns out that this girl might be an alien life form, might be from another visitor from another planet. And this is probably one of the most unusual romantic comedies I've ever seen, and it's actually probably one of the most original that I've ever seen. And I'm not too familiar with John Cameron's Mitchell's filmography, but I can tell you this guy is a talent for this very unusual premise. And I think it's one of those movies, romantic comedies, where I feel like we lost touch base with when it comes to centering characters who pretty much take time to really put aside their differences and to, I guess, focus on the infatuation, what makes us different, and not compare and find the uniqueness in one another. And this film really explores that. It really explores that. And this is a film I could really recommend, really, to anybody who's really like a die-hard A24 film. This is a very unusual film. I can tell you, if anybody who's really into a casual moviegoer would not normally like this film. They're gonna find it too bizarre. And really, I think it's set in the 70s because it has this very aesthetic 70s look to it. Certain parts of the movie where these kids, I would say they're a little bit troublemakers, but they're just dedicated to the punk rock um, idea. And again, they try to do their own band, and they clown around. They're talking about improving their band, but they're also talking about wanting to get laid at one point. And then next thing you know, they go to a place to do that. And when they go into, it reminds me of those old exploitation 70s where it's mostly visual, kind of like the Holy Mountain. I've seen barely bits and pieces on it, but it has that kind of look to it. Or they go in there and you see these people wearing unusual, like, fashion designing clothes during that time. And they're doing weird ass rituals and unusual kind of like intimacy symbolism. And these guys are pretty much saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get some, we're gonna get some, we're gonna get some." And then next thing you know, one of the guys, not the main character meets Ellen Fanny, who's trying to, I would say, learn more about her own individualism as a hybrid alien human, and she's trying to kind of deviate more from her society's teachings, where she's kind of want to explore her own kind of person, her own individuality. She wants to see other things, explore other things, and learn other things when she meets this guy. But when the guys encounter some unusual activity, where one of them specifically, they end up freaking out, and I don't blame them. And he had a right to try to get out of there. Like, it's unusual. And all I'm gonna say about that. This is currently available on HBO Max. However, Ellie Fanning's character, she pursues the main guy. I think the guy's name is uh, Ian. I think played by Alex Sharp. He comes in and they get together and they become infatuated with one another. And they try to learn more about their love languages. It's kind of unusual. There's quite a few scenes in here where are very unusual but awkwardly funny. There's a scene in there where Ian takes Ellie Fanning's character, I believe her name is Zan, back to her home. Ian's mom's there, and then she kind of performs some unusual like intimacy, not like close to like intimacy that way that I'm thinking about, but just like casual, like touching and kissing. She performs in such a very unique way that it's kind of bizarre. This is a bizarre film, and I think it's really about with someone trying to adapt into someone's societal norms and really trying to explore and learn more about it. I think we've seen it in countless other films like Avatar, but this film does it in a very bizarre, unique, and creative way. This is a creative film. And then the more they get to know each other, the more they become fascinated, the more they learn each other's, I would say, uh, I would say something that caused them to act the way that they do in the film. One character, the male character of Ian, um, misses his father. His father abandoned him. Well, in a way. And then I think Zan's character, I think she feels that her life is too sheltered, too controlling from her alien group. So both of them try to come up with a patch of trying to explore each other's, I would say, uniqueness. Most specifically, the guy's love for punk. And there's a unique scene where they're singing at a punk rock underground band, and it's very unusual, but it's a very unique scene. This movie's visually stunning. It's like who's ever done the production value on this, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful film. This is an unusual film, but I can tell you this film, I gotta be honest, might not resonate with a lot because it's just bizarre and bonkers, which I love. I love where films try to be a little bit creative and different. This film might turn some people off, but I think the ending of this film is bittersweet. I think it's a bittersweet ending. I think it's another underrated gem from A24 that I think it got slept on. Never really seen it, but I can tell you when you see the trailer, it will like, huh? It's a confusing movie, but it's also probably a very heartwarming kind of film. And really, I would recommend just checking it out. Anybody who's into a romance kind of movie, romantic comedy. If you're looking for something different in romantic comedy, I would recommend How to Talk to Girls at Parties. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.